Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Glowing Stitches. If you are new to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. In today's video, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful asymmetric neckline top. You can see how beautiful, trendy and stylish this top looks. So let's get started. For my body size, I made use of 1 yard of fabric. Your body size determines the amount of fabric that you would use. So I already marked out my measurements, basic measurements. The same thing I have here is what I have on the other side of this paper. Let me refresh our memories on this so we don't get confused at this point. So we have our bust point, we have our under bust measurement, we have our half length measurement, and then the full length of this top. Bust point 9.5 inches, under bust 13.5 inches, and half length 18 inches. Then the length you want. For the width of the bust, your measurement divided by 4 plus your sewing in allowance. That's I used 1.5 inches. Same applies to the under bust and the waist measurement. Your measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. And then for the down of this top, that's like the shape of this top, I don't want it to be too fitted, so I'll open up by 4 extra inches, 4 or 5 extra inches. As you can see, I already added 4 inches. This is the armhole measurement, 9 inches. And then this point is half of the armhole measurement, that's 4.5 inches. With that 4.5 inches, we would be able to curve our armhole. Your shoulder divided by 2 inches, then go down by ½ inch on the shoulder slant. Mark your neck measurements. I made use of 4 by 3 inches. The depth is 4 inches and the width is 3 inches. I hope we understand. Now let me redraw out these lines so that they will be visible enough for us to see what I marked. After doing all that, go back to the armhole, and then from that point where you mark the length of the armhole, go up by 1 inch and mark that point. From that 1 inch, mark upwards 2 inches like so. I hope you understand. Now from that point where the armhole, that's the straight line there, mark another 1.5 inches outward like so. Please watch carefully for you to understand what I'm trying to do at this point. After marking out those lines, draw them out. This helps us attach the rope on the underhand of the sleeve so it doesn't drag the neck while you are wearing this top. So from this point now, you can easily attach the rope. I hope you understand. This is what it looks like after doing that. Now from that line, connect upwards towards the neckline, a curved line like so. Very simple. Connect line in a curved form, let it meet the neckline. So we'll be working with these highlighted lines. That's for the neckline, down to the armhole and to the bodies. Strike out those other lines so you'd be aware that we are not working with that, and when you open up, you would have something like this. So these highlighted lines are what we are going to be working with. Now let's cut. Please watch and cut carefully. Don't get confused while cutting. So you cut around that neckline, that curved neckline, upwards towards the other side of the sleeve, or towards the other side of the neckline. You know it is an asymmetric neckline, so one side is curved down and the other side is like a normal shoulder sleeve. Don't forget to cut out your shoulder slant, and after cutting we would have this. So this is what we are going to be working with for now. This is what it looks like after cutting. Now to get that V shape in front, I had to add another paper to the length of this paper to enable me cut out that V shape effect in front, because the length of this paper is short. So I had to add another paper to the length to enable me cut out the V shape. Add up extra paper like so and pin down. So this is what it looks like after pinning down. Now fold the paper into 2 equal parts, like so. Fold into two equal parts. Now from the middle point, mark downwards 4 inches, 4 inches on the other side and 4 inches on this side. Please note that this 4 inches from the middle point should start from the half length. It's starting from the half length, and when you open up, you would have 8 inches. So mark the 4 inches on this side and the other side. After doing that, you connect the lines and draw. Now move to the side of this top and mark down 5 inches, 5 inches like so. And from these 4 inches, move out by 3 inches, at least 2 or 3 inches on the initial length of the top before we added. Now connect a slant line from that 3 inches upwards towards that point where we marked 4 inches. And connect that same line towards the 5 inches. Please don't get confused. So this is what we have after connecting the lines. Now let's turn to the other side of this top. When you open up, you would have this. It will look like this when you open up. Now from the other side, mark down 5 inches, 5 inches. Because we are going to be connecting a slant line downwards like we did on the other side, but this time around it will be longer than the other side. So from that point, the 4 inches, mark downwards about 12 or 13 inches, depending on how long you want your V to be. So we'll be marking 12 inches for the length of this V, and the other one we used on this side is 9 inches. Now connect that 12 inches to the other side of the dart, to the other 4 inches. I hope we understand. Connect on a slant line like so, and make sure that connection reaches the 5 inches on the side. So the meeting point is this 4 inches here. And after doing all that, let's cut. Please ensure to cut out the unwanted parts carefully. So after cutting all that, fold back your paper again. Fold your paper into 2 equal parts like so, and then from the middle point, mark inwards 4 inches. You know we've not added a dart to this cutting, so mark inwards 4 inches. Connect the lines. After connecting the lines, on the sides of these 4 inches you just marked now, mark half inch on both sides of the 4 inches. Mark half inch on both sides of the 4 inches. So this is me adding half inch to both sides of the 4 inches on the bust point, under bust, and on the half length. Now after doing that, connect one of the half inch on the under bust upwards towards the bust point to meet at the middle point. That's to meet on the 4 inch. That's to meet on that straight line. Connect the other half inch to meet at the middle point on the straight line. Also, the middle point at the half length, connect it upwards to meet the other half inch that we marked at the side of the under bust. So this is what we have. If you check that middle point on the under bust, that's within the dart, we have 1 inch there. Now we are going to transfer that 1 inch to the side of this top. We are going to transfer that 1 inch here to this place here. So we'll take out the 1 inch from that side, but every other part remains the same because we did not take out anything from there. So connect the lines like so to remove the 1 inch. So this is me taking out the 1 inch from the sides. That means we have removed our darts, so that when sewing, no need to add any form of darts again. So this is what it looks like after doing all that. Now let's transfer to our main fabric. This is the fabric we would be using for this top. Now transfer exactly what you have here to your fabric. So this is what it looks like after cutting out on the fabric, and this is the front panel. For the back panel, there will be no need to cut out that V in front, because the back is your normal regular round back, so the V is not reflected at the back. No need to cut out the V you cut out in front at the back. So after doing that, you are going to cut out a facing for both the front and the back panel. This facing should be at least half of the length of this pattern. So place your pattern on another piece of fabric like so and cut out your facing. And this is what my own facing looks like. This is what the facing looks like. When you place on it, this is what it looks like. So you'd use that to turn the neck of this pattern. Cut out your rope to be as long as possible and as wide as you want. So this is mine after cutting out. One edge is 2 inches and the other edge is wider, so it is the 2 inches that would be attaching to the top. You would be needing 2 of that, 2 ropes. Now take the front panel and place your facing on it like so, and then sew round the neckline. Sew round the neckline and all around. Please watch carefully to understand this part. Sew carefully on the neckline, and then when you get to that point at the edge, that's this point, you can now attach one of the rope using the edge that is 2 inches. I hope we understand. Lift up the facing and place the rope in between the facing and the front panel like so. Place it like so, like a sandwich method. Make sure it is well placed at this point, and when it is well placed, you can now sew carefully at this point. And for the other side of this dress, that's the other armhole, you are going to cover up the entire armhole with the facing so that no rough edges will be visible outside. So watch carefully and see how I'm going to do that. This is what it looks like after doing all that processes. Now we are going to notch all around the sewn area so that it will be easy for us to flip over, so that it will not squeeze or fold in a funny way when we try to flip over. So that is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to notch all around the sewn area. When you flip over, you would have this. Please ensure to give this a good press so that every part of this top would lap properly. I hope we understand. So we are going to repeat the same process for the back panel. We are going to use our facing to turn the back panel. After doing all that, we are going to be joining the shoulder points of the front and the back panel together. So take the shoulder point of the front and the back piece and place like so. Place on each other like so, and then take your hand through the facing like so. Bring in the other shoulder through the facing like so. Please watch carefully to understand. This is what we have after passing in one shoulder through the other shoulder. The essence of this is to make sure that no rough edges is shown outside, and then to make sure that our work is neat at all costs. So we are going to sew on the shoulder point. We are going to sew on 1/2 inch. This is what it looks like. We are now going to flip over and see how neat that area is. Please ensure to give this a good press. See how neat it looks. After doing all that, you can now join the sides of this top. Join one side, and the other side we are going to be attaching a zip. We are going to attach a zip because this material is not stretchy. Ideally, we are supposed to use a stretchy material for this style, but since this material is not stretchy and there is no zipper at the back, we are going to attach a zip to one side of the top. I hope we understand. This is what it looks like after attaching a zipper to one side of this top. After doing all that, hem the edge of this top and give it a very good press, and our top is ready to wear and ready to style. See how beautiful and stylish this top looks. I really hope we've learned a thing or two from this tutorial. Please do well to like, share and subscribe. For more beautiful and amazing contents like this, feel free to ask questions and make suggestions. We've seen the back view, and this is what the side zip looks like, well placed and balanced. Bye bye and see you in my next video.